I'm just going to shoot this video on my phone just because I have some other things I have to do today and I want to get it done real quick. I just want to talk about a very underrated movie in my opinion. I was off of work yesterday, so I decided just to watch Netflix and drink some wine, and I watched the Phantom of the Opera that Robert Englund did in 1989. Now pretty much my whole time of being a horror movie fan, whenever this movie would come up, a lot of people wouldn't like it, or they would hate it just because it was kind of like, they said it had too much of a slasher movie element to it. And to me, that's one of the reasons I like it. I love classical horror movies. I'm a big fan of the silent era of horror movies, like the Phantom of the Opera, Hexen, Witchcraft Through the Ages. Pronunciation and spelling also depends on the country you're watching it in. Hexen, I talk about that a lot on my other channels that I had in the past and videos that I made for certain groups on Facebook. Nosferatu, and there's certain other ones that are pretty good, like The Man Who Laughs, Metropolis is more of a science fiction movie, but I'm starting to ramble. Anyways, I don't mind the fact that it's like that. I actually really like it. The kills are very good, and I think Robert Englund does a good job acting in the film. In this version, instead of just wearing a mask, what happened was he made a deal with the devil for his music to be famous, almost kind of like the Illuminati. And the devil ends up like disfiguring him or something, like messing up his face. So if anyone wrongs him or doesn't like his love interest singing, he will kill them and sew their skin to his face to try to make himself look better. But of course, since his dead skin, it'll decompose, so over time he'll have to remove the dead skin and find new victims just to make himself look somewhat normal again. Also, it starts off in like a present day type setting. The girl hits her head and it shows her bloodline all the way back to, I guess, the 1800s or whenever the hell those operas were extremely popular. Shit, I don't know. Anyways, there's some really good scenes in there where he kills a couple people, and apparently, here's my only complaint. He's at a bar, and he doesn't accept a smoke from one of the guys at the bar, and the guy and his friends decide to like beat him up or try to take his gold or something. And apparently in movies, everyone becomes a black belt, because apparently the Phantom of the Opera, he did some Bruce Lee type shit. He did fucking backflips and like stabbed them and shit. But it's like, sorry, a thing popped up on the screen. That's why I usually don't like shooting on my phone. But he ends up killing these guys, doing flips and shit. And another thing about, it's not just this movie, but movies in general, it seems like bad guys always take their damn turn. It's like, alright, bad guy number 1, go after him. Bam, 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 bad guy number 1 gets beat up. Bad guy number 2 takes his turn, and bad guy number 3. I really think he did a good job delivering lines, and I thought the acting was really good in this movie, even the minor parts. Like some of the girls who are like prostitutes or whatever did a pretty good job acting, even though they're kind of, minimum characters. The people in the bar, as well as some of the people producing the opera for him. But anyways, it's a good movie. It's basically, there's some really good kills in it. There's a lot of good special effects. It's not the greatest movie out there, but it is. It's pretty good. And I like slasher movies, so maybe that's why I like it. A lot of people I notice who are fanboys of the Phantom of the Opera usually just like the Lon Chaney one, and the one that was made in the 50s, or excuse me, in the 40s by Universal Studios, that are a bit more classy and a bit more, like dramatic. But really, once you think back to it, the Phantom of the Opera from the 20s, yes, it was a love story, yes, it was a drama, but it was more of a horror film too. The Phantom, who is either all scared of him, and there's all these creepy images of the Phantom. So I actually like the fact that they made it a horror film. And Tony Todd, who played Candyman, from what I understand, on there's a DVD where Robert Englund does commentary over horror movie clips, and he says that Tony Todd, who played Candyman, thought it was a good idea that they brought it back to a horror movie theme instead of a love story or a romantic type thing. And also, the Phantom of the Opera, I'm so glad, just like in the 20s, his whole face is fucked up. It's not this one little burn on his... He's not an Abercrombie and Fitch actor with a little burn mark on his face and just one little mask covering one side of his face. No, he's fucked up. You know, and he doesn't actually... He has two masks. He has a skull mask, the skin that he sews to his face, and he has this cloth that covers him, not just here, but from here all the way down. So, pretty much his whole face is covered with one eye showing. And he's in silhouette, and it looks amazing. I think it's a great look for the film. And I really like that the Phantom's whole face is messed up, and that he has to do this kind of pseudo-plastic surgery on himself to make him look somewhat normal. He doesn't look completely normal after he sews the skin on. I mean, you could tell, like, he looks kind of odd. But over time, as it rots, he has to add more on. I thought it was a good take, and it's a horror movie, and it's a slasher movie, and I kind of like the fact that it's Nightmare on Elm Street meets the Phantom of the Opera. It's pretty good. I like it. And like I said, I know a lot of people don't like that. They kind of think, you got my slasher movie, and you got your slasher movie in my little classical film, which I love the classical horror movies, but at the same time, it was a fun fucking movie. Just like that movie, Ready to Rumble, but about the wrestling. Is it a perfect movie? No, but it's just a fun fucking movie, and a lot of movies aren't fun anymore. Either they take the film too serious, or they don't take it serious at all. You know what I mean? I like cheesy, sleazy movies. This one isn't a sleazy movie, but it has its cheesier moments, and I think it's pretty good. Anyways, I'm rambling, and I'm taking up way too much time. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Have a nice day. Love y'all all.